With the Queen here at the throne, and I have in my presence, and is an honor, award-winning filmmaker Rick Mathis.
What up? What up? What up?
So, Rick, I want to thank you as we was talking with letting me interview you. And I know you have a lot of credentials behind you, and a lot of people don't know how many of our people are out here doing great things.
Mm-hmm.
And you're making history. Dolores Smoke said, I like this. So I want you to tell everybody a little bit about yourself. Let us know the Rick Mathis behind the scenes.
That's what's up. What's up? So definitely a pleasure to be on your platform. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
being on the Straight No Chaser platform. So my name is Rick Mathis. I'm a filmmaker based in Atlanta, Georgia, and produce several films. One of my more notable films is Black Friday, the film series Black Friday that we produced starting in 2015 that featured everybody from David Banner to Umar Johnson to Dr. Claude Anderson to Boyce Watkins to just a host of people that were in the film. So, that's what I do. I mean, I'm a storyteller. Document our stories and present it in a way where it's more edutainment than just a lot of the crazy silliness that we see going on now in the world.
Exactly.
Hmm.
So, Rick, can you tell us? I know that you said films. Give us a little background of some of your work and your projects.
Yeah. So I started out producing this film series called Word. It was called Word, the Poetry DVD series. I produced that back in, I want to say 2002. That was like my first project. At that point,
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know how to shoot, I didn't know how to edit, but I knew how to bring people together. I knew how to tell a story, and I knew what was good and I knew what was bad. So we
Mm-hmm.
produced that film series. It was probably like a 4-part film series that featured everybody from the Last Poets to Amir Baraka, Sonia Sanchez, CeeLo from the Goody Mob. Who else we had in there? Professor Griff. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
we had just a host of people in the film series. A lot of the poets that
Mm-hmm.
was from HBO's Def Poetry. So that was like my first project in 2002, and so from
Mm-hmm.
there, I started the film department over at Rolling Out Magazine. Shout
Mm-hmm.
out to the Rolling Out fam, Munson Steed, and all those people over there. And and from there, it started to roll. I produced several other documentaries, commercials. Just had the opportunity to work with a lot of people, in the industry.
That's awesome. And a lot of us don't know, like, I guess we fantasize and we want our people to just be as famous as as I say media wants us to be. But to me, you're a legend.
Thank
To me, you're a legend because you stand for B1. So,
you.
what does B1 mean? Let us talk about B1. And y'all
So,
that's on Facebook, follow me on YouTube at Straight No Chaser with the Queen.
oh yeah. So when you think about B1, like I was just talking to a young lady last night about this. That'll be in the film. But when you think
Mm-hmm.
about B1 simply means putting us first. And
Mm-hmm.
when putting us first, at the end of the day, we have to decide what success means for us at the end of the day. A lot of times, we've adapted or adopted ways or successes that really, are not real successes or things that we've created, or what we should, strive to be or strive to be successful as, having a nice fancy car, having a big house, having, name brand shoes, name brand clothes. That's a lot of the stuff that we hold as success. But at the end
Mm-hmm.
of the day, is that really success? You know what I'm saying? There's nothing wrong with
Mm-hmm.
having nice things and enjoying those things. So make no
Mm-hmm.
mistake about it. I like nice things. You know what I'm saying? I just like for my stuff to be paid for, from the house to the car. I can't stand bills. I can't stand debt. You know what I mean? So at the end of
Mm-hmm.
the day, we really have to think about what is success for us.
Mm-hmm.
what success means to us. You know what I'm saying? We're at a time now where all the rules are being rewritten, from the film industry to the banking industry, to the school, all the rules
Mm-hmm.
are being rewritten. So we got to really take a step back and say, what does success mean to me? What is success
Mm-hmm.
at the end of the day? Is it being able to spend quality time with your family and not be rushed? You know what I'm saying? Is it being able to travel the world and see the world, and be exposed to different cultures. You know what I'm saying? So that's at the end of the day, that what is success to me? What does success mean to me?
Mm-hmm.
So that's really what B1 is about, which is, the film that we're working on. We just released the trailer. I don't know. Do you have the trailer, Tina?
Yes, I do.
So yeah, so at some point, we can definitely share the trailer, but
Mm-hmm.
with the crowd. But that's a project that we're working on with Dr. Boyce Watkins, and we got an all-star cast in this one again. So definitely. So at the end of the day, what is success for you? What does
Mm-hmm.
success mean to you? That's really
I
what you're.
love that because to me, like going back to when you say you were first working with everyone, you were new, that was success. That was
Mhm.
success being able to be with the people that were successful. That was being around each other.
Mhm.
And you said I know you're saying that what B1 means, but the movie, and I read let me get
The
this. I
synopsis.
read I want you
Okay.
to explain
Yeah, so
why
I can
you
just
wrote
share
the
the
movie
synopsis.
and what made you decide that you wanted to do it and where was it coming from? What were you and Dr. Boyce trying to express in this?
Yeah. So what happened is I got a call from Dr. Boyce Watkins, and he was like basically like, I want to schedule some time to meet with you. I want to ask you, about a new project that I'm working on. See if you want to be involved with it.
Mm-hmm.
So we scheduled a phone call, and he was basically like, I'm about to produce the B1 the movie, and I want you to produce it and direct it for me. And I was like, what? I say, Darren, okay, that's how can I put it? That's quite a endorsement, so to speak.
Mm-hmm.
So because B1 already has its built-in following, and it's just it's its own thing right now, and I thought that was so dope to
Mm-hmm.
to come with the documentary or the movie right now. So yeah, so we talked, we came up with the concept, and agreed to the terms, and we started working on the film. So the synopsis of the film basically says this: the pandemic has opened the eyes of Black people in America and
Mm-hmm.
put emphasis on the fact that we must start working together and put our needs first. Dr.
Mm-hmm.
Boyce Watkins and filmmaker Rick Mathis polled over 1 million people with this intriguing question: what is it going to take for Black people to start putting Black people first? And I really, really want people to think about that. Like, what is it really going to take for us to start putting us first? When you look at, just the small time frame or history in America, you know, um, and we were here before America was established.
Mm-hmm.
But that's another conversation for another time. But just the this narrative or the story that white folks like to start with. We were enslaved and we started from slaves. If we just look at, I like to go back before that. But if we look at the time period to the present, we spent majority of those years, putting other people first, serving other people, from
Mm-hmm.
basically being, the as Riza Islam say in the film, which y'all will see, Black people have been like the memory gram for the world. The world has
Mm-hmm.
been sucking on the titties of Black America. Because when you look at
Exactly.
it, the inventions that we've contributed to America and to the world, everything from the stoplight to the air condition to the iron, all these amazing inventions, we've contributed. And not only that, we've literally nurtured, white folks in America from a baby to them being on the nipple of the Black
Mm-hmm.
woman. to actually raising them and giving them certain morals and certain values and things of that nature. Cooking for them, cleaning for them. So the question is, what is it going to take for Black people to start putting Black people first? When are we going to step up and say, hey, it's time for us to put us first? You know what I'm saying? When are we going to step up and say that? And what is it going to take? The question that I also like to ask is, in the film, we talk about the pandemic and how the pandemic was like a wake-up call. But I pose this question to the audience that's listening right now. Does your family have the skills and the resources to survive another pandemic? We saw what COVID did. You know what I'm saying? We were in the house for what? Most of 2020. You know what I'm saying? So that was the wake-up call. But do your family have the skill set, the resources, the land, the food? If the grocery store says, hey, we shutting down tomorrow. Do you have enough food stockpile? Do you have a garden that you're planting? So it's simple, basic things like that we really got to look at, because now I feel, with the reset, that we got to go back to the basics and start with the basic necessities: food, clothing, shelter, in order to rebuild and unplug from this system and create our own system.
Exactly. A lot of us don't know that. I'm going to play, let me share this. That's what I'm going to play some of the B1 movie, and then
This is the trailer.
The trailer.
Yeah, this is the trailer.
Sorry. I'm going to play.
It'll be out in a couple of months, but this is the trailer here.
Yes. And so give me one. I thought I was sharing my screen.
Yeah, you're not sharing it now.
Okay. Give me 1 second.
Okay. Well, yeah, this is the trailer, and some of the people. You got it ready?
Yes. Hold on. Yes, I have it.
You have it queued? Go. Okay.
Here we go.
The pandemic has opened the eyes of Black people in America and put emphasis on the fact that we must start working together and put our needs first. I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins of the Black Business School. I've teamed up with award-winning filmmaker Rick Mathis to poll over 1 million people with this intriguing question. What is it going to take for Black people to start putting Black people first?
The war starts with love. Love is the most powerful force in the universe.
We've been conditioned for hundreds of years now to not love who we are.
I believe that we're in the midst of a great awakening right now.
It's going to take a very intentional effort to undo what society has done to us. We all are going through this experience together. So I encourage us to be less hard.
We don't even say hi to each other on the streets.
But when we lead with love, it's amazing how different our lives will look when we lead with love at all times, not just when it's convenient for us or not just when we receive it first.
Love is nice, but the biggest thing is what creates your opportunities is what you own and control. But now you better get yourself some money. So I got kids to support, man, and grandkids, and they got to eat, man. And I can tell them I love them. They're going to need some clothes when they're real.
To truly obtain Black power, Black people must first begin by looking within ourselves and realizing our true power.
We have to stop looking for validation outside of our community.
We've been waiting for people outside of ourselves to change in order to have what we desire, when the true power is actually within us.
And we're able to see ourselves and understand that we come from kings and queens, that we are the source. Without us, nothing moves.
The whole world needs Black power. As long as Black power is suffering, then everybody gonna be suffering. They think they want to steal from us, rob from us, beat us down, chain us, and they not gonna suffer from that.
No Chinese person, no Latino, no Arab, no Jew, no white man has ever had to be asked such a question.
Nobody complains when an Indian man says he loves that Indian woman. Nobody complains when the Jewish man says, I want to do business with my Jewish brother. Nobody says a damn thing when the Chinese man says, I only want to patronize Chinese businesses.
Other races feel threatened when black people talk about putting black people first because they're smart, because they get it. They understand, quiet as kept elephant in the room, that we're actually in a race.
I'm Dr. Boyce Watkins. Filmmaker Rick Mathis and I present the thought-provoking film B1 the Movie, a documentary that examines what it's going to take for us to start putting black people first. However, the truth is that we're already first. We just need to accept it.
We already first, baby. We just need to accept it.
Exactly. Everybody's going, I'm trying
this
to.
movie is a feel-good movie that really, highlights some real solutions and real resources that we can really like connect to start putting us first, because it's time. I mean, just look around, look what's going on in the world. It's time that we start putting ourselves first.
Yes, right. That's right. That's what I love. And I'm so glad that you and Dr. Boyce Watkins came together to bring that to us because, as a creator, YouTube creator, they kind of block us on every platform with getting out the truth. So with you being a filmmaker, you can bring us the truth. We just have to be prepared to accept it, to go look for it that you have and to look at it, to share this. So everybody that's in the chat, everybody that's watching, even if you watching a replay, we need you to reshare this broadcast. We need you to go, and I want you to go to Rick Mathis page.
The Instagram is Rick without the K. It should be in the lower third right there. RIC Mathis. Or you can go to the social media page, B1 the Movie. Definitely follow us there. Follow me at Rick Mathis without the K. And we just did a light release, a soft launch, but we'll be turning up the fire soon. We're in the lab right now, editing, putting the final touches on the film. So shout out to Dr. Boyce Watkins for believing in me and seeing something in me to say, hey, let's create this film together. Also, I got Raheem Shabazz. Give a shout out to him who did Elementary Genocide. He's also working on the project with me, editing and doing some things. Terrell as well with Shoot 2 Films is also working on the project. So we got a nice production team that's assembling this project, and we'll be able to bring it to you real soon. We're gonna do something real special when we launch the film.
Well, people are excited. Well, I'm just so glad. Like I was telling you before we got the broadcast started, I am honored that you, like I said, I like being around our people. Me and you, I wanted to say this, like when we first met, we first formally met, I couldn't remember because it's like, I'm trying to take in everything, learning everybody. And I appreciate Boyce for giving me the platform to grow, and I'm learning. So I like what you said in the beginning of this interview is that you were young and learning when you were around all those other big names.
Yeah, exactly.
and I know that's how I felt. And so I always look at myself as the people that we are considered the designated underclass, and me, you, and all of us that's trying to make it, we represent us. Yes. And we always are told that we're ghetto and we have all these stereotypes, but yet we have us and people like you out here trying to destroy those stereotypes by educating us. And I wanted to tell you, like when we met again, and you like, Tina, you was telling me when we met, and I was like, you know what? It made me feel so good because you really love your people and you recognize me and you make me feel welcome. And so even when I talk to you, I get nervous because I feel like I'm with the big wigs.
Hey, look, I'm down. I'm a down to earth, down south.
Yes, you are.
You know what I'm saying? I was born in Valdosta. Moved to Atlanta when I was 14. Yeah. So I got country roots. You know what I'm saying? So I'm just
I
going
have
back
family in Valdosta.
Oh, okay. That's what's up. Yeah, I'm from the west side. I was raised on Jackson Street, right there. We live right next door to the park. We used to play basketball all day and night, right there at the park, Jackson Street
Wow.
Park. Yeah, so yeah, you know that's my roots. I moved to Atlanta when I was 14. Went to Frederick Douglass High School with Killer Mike, T.I., Lil Jon. We had a lot of different people that went to Frederick Douglass High School. You know what I'm saying? So it's one of the premier high schools in Atlanta of majority black high schools. Because I mean, we had one white guy, I remember, and one little Asian girl that was at the school. Other than that, it was all blackity black. black. Yeah.
And we have to get that back because I think us that was born towards the 70s, early 70s. I don't know how old you are, but there was a time we got a glimpse of the unity before we were destroyed with all the new music and the drugs and all that.
And Hurricane Crack came through.
Yes, I was living in the Bronx. I was in the Bronx when it launched, and now that with me being woke, it took me a while. Like I said, with just being around the B1 community, I just learned everything. So I remember being in the Bronx, picking up the little vials, giving it to the drug dealer that I knew, but we didn't know. Like, oh, this yours. Oh, this stuff in it, this is yours. And they had us living like it's just normal. I remember seeing the cops beat, and just it was like not trying to be funny. It was entertainment when you see this and that. We didn't know we were being stripped and destroyed.
But now we know. But now we know, and that's why I'm choosing my weapon. My weapon of choice is film. You know what I'm saying? To be a griot, to now help people like yourself, you know, to tell these stories. You know, I offer a course now, you know, that helps people go through the 4 processes of film distribution or film creation, I should say. You know what I'm saying? So in film creation, you know, you got to always start your message with a question. You know what I'm saying? In the film B1, that first question is what? What is it going to take for black people to start putting black people first? You always want to start your message with a question, a powerful statistic, or a powerful quote. You know what I'm saying? So a statistic or a quote or a question is what you want to start with when you're delivering your message or when you're producing any content. You know what I'm saying? So I offer, you know, courses on that. So you can send me a message at Rick Mathis on Instagram if you're interested. And also, can you share the trailer in the chat, in the comments, so people can, you know, share that trailer, go back and watch it, and share it with their family, you know?
Okay. I'll get on there. You know, my technical difficulties right now. But I will make sure.
Yeah, I could probably pull it up and put it in the chat real quick.
If you could, because we'll make sure. We want y'all to share. We want y'all to be prepared for this film. And he didn't say much. He also made the film Black Friday. And so Rick has been out here trying to give us the message, and it's probably more of him, but we don't highlight our own because we're so used to the industry telling us who to listen to, when to listen to them, and what message they should tell us.
Exactly.
And we have to get away from that. B1. And I love that. What is it going to take to put us first? Because I don't know if you know, Rick, I've been, and I don't know if I was going to put you on the spot with this, if you knew what a micro nation is.
Say that again now.
If you knew what a micro nation is.
Yeah, that's a nation within a nation.
Oh, okay. Well, excuse me.
Yeah, that's a nation within a nation. And that's what, you know, this is all about. We got to build a nation within a nation.
And that's that's what you see here. You're going to see my website is going to launch more, but that's what we've been doing, is learning how to really build a real nation. Because I tell people we got to it's so many of us. You're doing film, someone else is marching, someone else is here. They have us all spread out.
Yeah.
And we all have to basically pull those strings and kind of like pull us all together under one umbrella. And that's what the nation is for, not to strip anyone of their own identities, but to try to get us to be under one umbrella so that we can start governing ourselves and passing our own funds among each other. And so you know, y'all have been doing the work. I'm just starting to work. And I just say that because there's a lot of people out there like me, was in the corporate world, still out there. There's a lot of you out there that's scared to learn your truth, or because it doesn't sound right or it doesn't line up with the norm, we don't want to step out those barriers. I always say that we're going to have to fast, and we're going to have to fast from corporate. We're going to have to get to the grassroots people like you and in the YouTubers. I always try to find an eye where we all get along, and we know that we're not going to all like each other. We're not going to all really get along, but we can be on code enough to know this is important to put us first. Be one.
That's what time it is. Time, you know, it's time that we build, like you said, build our own nation within a nation. And if you look at, there are several groups that have done it and that are continuing to do it in America. You know, you look at the Amish people. You know, you look at the Mormons. You know what I'm saying? You look at, there's several groups. You look at the Asians. The Asians don't vote, but you look at, they have their own community within a community or within a nation. You know what I'm saying? They have their own banks, their own businesses. They circulate their dollars in the community, and they have power when they get things done. I mean, look at the bills that they recently got passed, and they don't even vote. So that's something for us to look at and to think about. You're like, okay, is this voting thing really working? And that's one thing we address in the film too. You know, I just learned, and I didn't know this because I'm not real big in politics, just to be straightforward with you. But I didn't know that the Voting Rights Act has to be voted on every 7 years so that Black people can have the right to vote. Did you know that?
No, you just schooled me.
Every 7 years, it has to be voted on to see if Black people are going to have the right to vote. Every 7 years, the Voting Rights Act.
You just blew my mind right now.
because look, listening and interviewing Dr. Claude Anderson, like I featured him in other films that I've produced, but in B1, I actually had the time to really like pull information out of his brain. And I knew more about him than I did the first time. So I was actually able to really tailor questions to Dr. Claude Anderson. So just give you real quick the narrative of what's featured in the film or what's going to be featured in the film. So you may be familiar with the speech that Dr. Claude Anderson gives where he talks about it was a race to get to America. And that's where the term race comes from. And you took the E off and put ism to make sure that wealth was locked into the hands of white people in America. 99.9% is actually locked into the hands of white people. We only own and control less than 0.5%. So if you look at 99.5% of the wealth of America is locked into white Americans, because when they came here, it was a race to get to America, because when you got to America, this was the land of riches. This was the land of free land. And then you, once you got the land, then you got our ancestors to work it for free. So America was built on the backs of another race that we still haven't been compensated for what we built. And then also the land was actually stolen from our people that were already here and other people that were already here. So you have free land and you have free labor. Who can't build a successful nation with free land and free labor?
No, so Rick, they worked hard.
Exactly. So he talks about that, but then he also talks about how in 1776, the U.S. Constitution was written. And in that Constitution, people of color were never referred to. They used broad and ambiguous terms to refer to people of color. But when they talked about themselves, they used exact terms to talk about themselves. So we've always been looked at being 3/5 of a man or 3/5 of a human. So therefore, we don't get the respect or the due justice or the actual financial resources that other races get when they come to this country. We don't get that because we're still looked at as 3/5 of a man. We're still not really looked at as true citizens of America under the U.S. Constitution when you go back to the Dred Scott decision. If you're not familiar with the Dred Scott decision, go back and look up, the Dred Scott decision. You know what I mean? And then you'll see that we fought in the Civil War. We're really the reason, our ancestors are the reason why the Civil War was won. And Dr. Claude Anderson talks about that's the reason the Proud Boys are still mad at Black people in America. And he put this in his books too. So y'all can get books to actually do more research on it. But that's why the Proud Boys are mad at, America and Black Americans. You know what I'm saying? Because of that. And I use that term Black America just so you all understand, who we're referring to. But he talks about all of that in the film. And so that's one of the parts that I'm just blown away by NB1, how he breaks that down and how we really need to look at, are we real citizens under this U.S. Constitution, number one? And what is it going to take for us to be citizens within our own nation and put our own self first so that we can have the resources, we can have, the wealth that we truly deserve and be in America? Because America, a lot of people say go to Africa. Yeah, I own land in Africa, but I want to own a piece of this too, that my ancestors sweat, blood, and died to build what is, the number one nation right now in America. In the world. So, you know what I'm saying? So it's a lot that goes on with that. It's a lot of layers that we have to pull back. But at the end of the day, those are the questions. Those are hard questions we're going to have to ask. Those are the layers that we have to pull back so that we can begin to say, what is our place? How do we find our rightful place? How do we start putting us first so that we can leave something that's tangible for our children in the next generation?
That's right. And I thank you for that, Rick. Y'all like and share if y'all on Fly Nubian Queen for the Nation for Melanated, the Network for Melanated People. Like you, I say, I got nation on my mind.
Exactly.
And like we have to, like he said, what we have to do to put us first. We are very compassionate people. We are loving people. And the sad part is we're gonna have to get a little bit hard. We're going to have to get a little bit like I am, when that's why I do the straight no chaser with the queen. Like you already know it. I am, once I learned the lies that I was living, and once my eyes, like they say, it's like a lot in the Bible that they wrote that really is happening to the people that we consider woke. Be one. And we are going to have to really look at the situation for what the situation is. We don't want to face the truth. And those of us, I have accepted those of us that are woke. It might not be many, but if you've seen the movie The 300, we're going to have to be that 300 because, and as the rest of them wake up, we're trying to build that new civilization for them to come and learn. Like when you and Riza said, the Jews, no one cares or no one asks why they want to do business with each other. No one asks the Chinese, no one. But when it comes to us, we have our own men.
Well, why is
that? Say that again, Rick.
I say, but why is that? That's the question you have
exactly. To ask. And we have to learn the truth. We have been taught lies, but see, like you said, when you start peeling it back, the lies that you have been told, that you have been basing your morals and your standards, and you've been teaching it to your children and your grandchildren, it kind of gets our pride in the way. And we don't want to accept that we have been lied to and we've been teaching each other a lot. We don't want to accept that.
Yeah, I heard Queen. I was talking to Queen Thais yesterday, who has the homeschooling.
Oh, really?
And the thing that she said when you talk about education, something she said yesterday, and I was like, wow, I ain't never thought about it like that.
What did she?
But she said education is a spiritual process.
It is.
Education is a spiritual process. So just think about that for a minute, right?
Mm-hmm.
The way the education is set up, the educational system is set up right now,
mm-hmm.
it don't really have nothing to do with spirituality. You know what I'm saying? So for us, education being a spiritual process, it should lead with spirituality. What is our true purpose for coming on this planet?
I love that.
What is our true talent? What did we come to this planet to give back to the world, to give back to the universe? What contract did we sign when we came into this particular sphere and said we were going to do? So if you don't start with that, then the thing that you're doing is you're simply creating an assembly line of slaves. You got high dollar slaves and you got low dollar slaves. You know what I'm saying? If you went to a better school or a more prominent school than this person over here, that doesn't make you better. That means you just a high dollar slave. You just got exposed to some knowledge and some information, you know what I'm saying, that this other group didn't get exposed to. But that doesn't mean that you're better than that group. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, you got to go within.
Yep.
Just like they say in the film, you know what I'm saying? We talking about the real black power. This is cool, but the real black power is within here. Going within, spending time in silence, meditating, spending time in nature. You know what I'm saying? Connecting. You know what I mean? That's what the real black power is. And that's why, you know, people get nervous when we simply talk about putting black people first, because they know if we put us first and we start looking out for us, it's game over. Anything that we do and we really do, we take over, period. Anything that we really put our mind to and that we do, we take over. From sports
exactly
to entertainment to business. Once we start putting our mind to it and doing it, we take over. It's game over. So that's what
right.
That's why people get nervous, because they know who we are more so than we know who we are. But now we're really coming into who we are and really learning that. And guess what? It's our time now.
It's our time.
Like we say in the film, all we got to do is accept it.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
We just got to accept it.
We got to accept the truth. We've been lied to. And like you said, we're not better. No one is better than the other. We've just been exposed in different ways to different knowledges and different experiences in life. And we have to accept that. And what they have taught us is that we got to be willing to learn from each other. I mean, what they taught us not to, but we got to, that putting us first is like, I have to be willing to let you teach me without looking at your white credentials.
Yeah.
I have to be willing to look at your films without having to worry about if I'm going to go to the, you know, like if it's not in the movie theater and on big screen, we gotta get unused to, like I said, make them fast of what they have us comfortable with.
Yeah, and that's that's what time it is. I mean, we got to start looking within ourselves and stop looking for approval from other people. Can we do this? Is this okay? Nah, it's time out. It's a major reset.
Exactly.
Look at us. We are the true leaders.
I wanted to say something when you said about school and education. And I'm learning, and I just learned, like, when we ruled all the world, we didn't rule with guns and violence and intimidation. We ruled with education and science and knowledge. That's why we respected our elders. That's why they say when an elder died, you burn down a library. You know, and so we don't respect our elders no more, because like you said, they just got us living in the assembly line. You wake up, you go to work, you eat, you go to sleep, and we don't recognize that. And they know we're spiritual. We are the everything. So they tap into the spiritual with the images that they gave us and the fake promises that they give us, but now the spirit is too heavy right now, so it's not going to be it's not enough to appease us no more. And when I looked at it, when we graduated from the universities that we built that they burned down, I looked at one of the universities. When you graduated, you rode on a white horse and white garments to the university. And then I thought about how they always use that term in the Bible that they arranged, that, oh, when the white horses come. Because if you look at a lot that they wrote, that was their experience with seeing us first. And so they took a lot of that and they programmed us not to accept ourselves as those gods and goddesses, but to take the God and goddesses that's in us and projected it on the images, and then they control those images in our head, and we are never going within. It was one time before I was woke. I've always had dreams. I've always been spiritual. But when I was taught the dead don't know what the living doing, and the living don't know what the dead doing, and that's not true. And I would be scared in my dreams. But as I woke up more, I know to go talk to my ancestors. And to get the knowledge, I have to go within. And I started accepting them in my dreams, and I started seeing more. And life started changing more for me. So we have to accept each other. And like you said, be one. We have to accept each other. If you have advice for us, I'm going to ask, what advice would you give us?
Wow. I mean, just staying on that vein where you're talking about the ancestors. You know what I'm saying? I produced a film sometime back, right? And in the film, we asked this question right here, right? Because we was really like dissecting religion and just really like delving into that, you know. And for the people that, you know, are into Jesus and, you know, the church and religious, you know, that's your thing. That's your thing. I'm also a spiritual person.
Yes, right.
But I asked this question right here in the film. But the question is, which blood is more sacred? The blood that our ancestors shared, or the blood that Jesus shed? Which one is more sacred? And y'all can answer that in the chat real quick. And then I give you my response on it.
I'm telling them they hear you. Answer in the chat.
Yeah, answer in the chat. Which blood is more sacred? The blood that our ancestors shed, or the blood that Jesus shed?
Answer it, y'all, because that's they said our ancestors. We gotta answer. We gotta answer.
Okay, who else we got in there?
I think we all be one, so ain't nobody, or they scared. You know, a lot of us still waking up and stuff. So
okay, ancestors all day. Okay.
Yeah. They said the blood. Oh, it's pouring in.
I
am so sorry. Look, my connection is slow. My connection was slow. I'm sorry, y'all. They pouring in.
Okay, but think about this right here, right? And nobody said this in the film. But we went down. That's when TD Jakes was here in Atlanta, down at Phillips Arena. And so, you know, the questions we got, a lot of people, Jesus, the blood of Jesus. What do you mean? The blood of Jesus. But think about this right here, right? Jesus is our ancestor as well. So if you say the blood of our ancestor, Jesus fits right into that. You know what I'm saying? If you really on the Jesus story, but nobody said that. And I was like, well, dang, that shows how disconnected people really are. Because you're saying the blood of Jesus, but Jesus is an ancestor.
You just told me something there, because I get so distasteful with the word Jesus, because I know the letter J didn't even exist. If you look at the history of the alphabet, and I understand we it's like I want us to get to the point where I know we don't want to offend each other, and I don't mean to offend my brothers and sisters that's out there when we talk about Jesus, but we're gonna have to put us first, and we're gonna have to stop using. Yeah, we got to stop using the words that they gave us, because if you believe his name is Yeshua, no matter what, you got to go, okay, then call him Yeshua if that's what you believe. But you got to look at history, and history says there was no J. So why did they make up a whole white image, and why did they give it a whole white name?
Exactly.
You know, so we gotta say that, like you said. But yes, that person that I always tell people, and I could be wrong, but when I gather with the ancestors and think, and I try to look at stuff and read here, there, because I'm doing a lot of catching up, and I feel like Jesus is the melanin. If you know science and understand what melanin is, it's the source of life. We're the only beings walking around that produces pure melanin, like the universe. That's we're spiritual people. And so when they say Jesus died and he was sacrificed, we don't realize we're being sacrificed every day. Like you said, the blood, the Jesus, the blood is us. What do they want from us? What exactly do they want from us that we had? We had the earth. No, it wasn't perfect, but we did not have this that we call capitalism, and the earth is dying and everything is polluted. We were not greedy people, you know, and we have melanin. They didn't understand it because they took what was different from them and made it our problem. And so they dig, it's the melanin. And I always say, whatever they were naming Jesus, whether it was Yeshua, I feel like Yeshua is just like a lot of people was given a message. If he was sacrificed, he just like you have Martin Luther King. Years from now, as they keep changing the story, nobody is going to really know what Martin Luther King stands for if we don't let Rick and the rest of the filmmakers tell our stories. And listen to our story.
King to be a white man in a minute if you don't watch out.
Malcolm X going to be Chinese.
Exactly. Yeah. So you know what I'm saying?
And that's why your position is so important. And so we need to highlight that. We need to highlight the people that is out there doing the work. We have to reprogram our mind of what we have been taught to listen to and all that. Those entertainers are entertainers, but it's the people behind the scene that we don't know that's really putting in a lot of work. Rick could probably be like one of those, not trying to be funny, that not calling them sellouts, but a lot of these filmmakers, they run to massa. And you are taking this on to putting us first. Be one.
Exactly. It's time we put us first and we tell our own stories. I'm gonna share something else with you, right? So I don't know if you've seen the docuseries that's out right now dealing with Hugh Hefner and the Playboy story.
I heard about it, but it makes me angry every time I hear Hugh and we talk about Bill Cosby.
Exactly. That's where I'm going with it, right? So I'm watching the film, right? I'm watching the series. And, you know, they glorify Hugh, you know, had all of these women and how, you know, he was mind control and the damage that he did to them. And most of his women were blonde, you know, white blondes, you know what I'm saying, until later on when they started letting some others get in there. But me being a filmmaker, I peeped this, right? So as you get along to probably, because I think it's like a 6-part series. So as you get into probably episode 2 or 3, right? There's a situation where they bring up Don Cornelius. You know, Don Cornelius was Soul Train, right? So they bring him in the picture and they talk about he used to hang out at the club, da-da-da-da-da. And then they say one particular night, he took these 2 Playboy bunnies to his house. And they say he locked them up, tied them up, and did all kind of crazy stuff to them for like 3 days until they sent security over there to get him. Because Hugh Hefner had a serious operation. Like he had security. He had therapists that would mentor the girls. You know, he had a list and a way of doing stuff that you had to do it, dot the I, cross the T, exactly how he said do it.
He had his own code.
Yeah, he had his own code. But the part that just kind of threw me off is you highlighting this cat that's creating the environment to have this prostitution, to have all of this stuff going on, to play these mind tricks on these young girls. But then you throw a black man under the bus, Don Cornelius, and say he kidnapped 2 of them and had them tied up and sodomized them and did all of this stuff to them for 3 days. You see what I'm saying? So when, as a filmmaker, that's something that they put in there because we still got to keep this negative image of the black man. So we're going to put this in here with Don Cornelius and still make, that's going to make Hugh Hefner still look good in the eyes of the public. When at the end of the day, he was just a big old pimp. That's all he was.
A molester.
A legalized pimp.
Exactly. And we help support them. We don't see that we're supporting all these corporations that allow Hugh Hefner to basically do what they accuse R. Kelly and Bill Cosby of. They didn't just
you lock up R. Kelly, because R. Kelly was the same thing. He provided an environment for women, and the thing about it, the women couldn't leave. I mean, they could leave if they really, really wanted to, but they couldn't leave and still be in good graces with Hugh Hefner. They had a curfew. They had to be in by 9 o'clock. They couldn't go see their family unless it was special holidays. And then when they went to see their family, they had security with them and security telling them everything they doing play by play. So R. Kelly did the same thing, but he got locked up. Bill Cosby did the same thing. You know, they flash an image of Bill in the trailer. If you look at the trailer and you look at the opening part, they flash an image of him with a quote, you know, with him saying something. So we're still putting black people, or black men, I should say, paint a negative picture. That's why media is so powerful. And that's why I decided to be a filmmaker and to tell our story and to paint these pictures on the walls of the mind of people. You know what I'm saying? There's certain stories that we got to tell and we got to paint on the minds of the people, because the story in media is powerful. Powerful. Yes. I just wanted to share that. You know what I'm saying? So
I love it. I'm glad you did.
You'll be like, dang, surely is like, how they gonna throw Don Cornelius on the bus? Not saying that he innocent, but he probably did it. But at the same time, why put that storyline in the documentary when the story is about Hugh Hefner?
That's why we need to go on a diet with these media, the corporation media, and their movies and their stories, and listen and create our own, because it's all that's that program. It's that programming, and we don't even realize it. I have to realize it. We all have to realize we're programmed to go against each other. And what pissed me off with the whole Playboy thing is when he died, our people were crying and putting up his. I was like, how can nobody? I don't care how woke you not. If you love Jesus, how you don't see this?
Exactly. And guess what? His star is still on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. Meanwhile, they've pulled Bill Cosby's star off the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and probably R. Kelly's. Did they take R. Kelly's off too?
I think they did. I think they crushed his. They probably poured tar over it and stuff.
So we gotta be conscious enough to see these double standards and to see what's going on and how powerful media is, and not get caught up in the okie doke. Not saying that what Bill Cosby and R. Kelly did was right. I'm not saying that by any means. But what I am saying is, how we going to celebrate this cat over here and have these cats over here in prison?
By being programmed.
And they doing the same exact thing.
But look, they do it on a lower scale. The Bill Cosby didn't do nothing as much as
even said in the interview when she first had sex with Hugh Hefner, that he asked her, did she want to take a Quaalude? And he ended up putting one in her drink. She took it, and then boom. That's her first time having sex with him, with like 7, 8 other Playboy bunnies in the room.
And we don't look at that. Like, when did black men start doing the Quaaludes? And you know, they changed our whole culture, and they gave us drugs they gave us. Not saying we didn't, might not. To me, man-made drugs is when you going in the lab making it. So they criminalized the marijuana and gave us drugs, and then they allowed themselves to get away with everything, and then punished us for anything we do that's like them. And it's a way to discredit our melanated men. I think I have Rick frozen. You're frozen, Rick. They want to discredit R. Kelly's work. They discredit Bill Cosby's work. It's the way of trying to take everything that they built, even though we still listen to Elvis and everything that they built, and devalue it. So Rick, we've been having technical difficulties, but Rick was with us for a while. I'm gonna see if he comes back on. If he doesn't, we'll end this broadcast. But I want you to walk away with this question: what is it gonna take to put us first? How can you put me first and I put you first, and my sister put the brother first and the brother put the cousins first? How can we see each other with value? Here's Rick is back.
Straight no chaser, baby. We speaking something. We tapping into something. They kicking us out.
I know. I told them. Yeah, they don't like it.
It's getting hot in here, boy.
You know that means it's time to wrap it up. What is the saying, man?
But that's what it is.
30, 45 minutes. That's it.
It's just time out for the BS. You know what I'm
Yes.
saying? It's straight no chaser. You know what I mean? We telling it like it is, like my grandma used to say. Tell it like it is.
Exactly.
And that's what we're doing. So
exactly.
Yeah, so they tapping with, they playing with the signals and the
look. I'm used to. I was wondering. I'm sitting here. I'm like, well, wow, we ain't messed up in a while. But that's why we gotta build our platforms. Follow each other. Again, y'all follow Rick Mathis, and let me make sure you spell his name right. And like I said, he teaches. If you want to get into helping, let's learn. Like he said, making films is a way of speaking. We all get out here. We're not competition. That me as a YouTuber and all this, I am not in competition with anybody. I will look at other people's videos, use it. We got to put us first. And so we need to follow each other. Now, follow Rick. Rick, go ahead and tell them some more before we get out the leave. I'll let you, wrap it up with you and where they can follow. Because people were asking about the film, but one of the moderators told them that it's going to be ready soon.
Yeah, share the trailer. I can't see how. I think my comments are turned off. I can only comment in the private chat.
Okay.
I can't put anything in the comment, but share the trailer and also share my my Instagram or my social media handle. All my social media is the same. It's Rick RIC without the K Mathis MATHIS. That's on Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. Everything is that same handle. But and then you can find the trailer as well on the YouTube as well. So you can find it there. So probably just put in like Rick Mathis, Boyce Watkins, B1 the movie. Do a search with that and it should populate. But I was trying to put the actual link in the comments.
It wasn't letting you.
Well, I don't see where to put. I don't have the option.
Okay. Do you see on the right? When you see comments, I had it. It should be private chat, and the up it should say.
Yeah, I think private chat. I can put a comment in the private chat, but not in the regular.
Okay, I will make sure it will be in there. We'll make sure that I put the link in the chat.
So I just put it in the private chat for now.
Oh, you put it in the private chat. Let me see if I can copy.
You can just copy and paste it from there.
Yes,
I can. I'll put my social media handle in there too. Yep. Okay. But yeah, definitely share the trailer. I think somebody just put it in there as well. Kathy just put it in there. Appreciate that, Kathy. Yeah, but make sure y'all share that trailer. I'm telling you, we got
it's good.
We got an all-star cast. Everybody from, let me name some of the people that's in it. course, you saw the trailer, but we got Riza Islam in there, Queen of Four in there, Nuri Muhammad is in there. We got D1, we got Dr. Boyce Watkins in there. Like, we got an all-star cast of people in there. We got, Julian Gordon in there. We got King Randall, the young guy that's in South Georgia that's doing a lot of stuff with the young people. So we got an all-star cast, man, and we talking about what is it going to take for Black people to start putting Black people first. What is it going to take?
And I'm so excited because, I'm ready. When this is released, I'm just excited for the next convention.
Yeah, the next B1 convention. Yeah.
Yes.
All Night National Convention was all the way live last year.
Yes.
I'm looking forward to that this year too.
I just love that we all got together. A lot of y'all are missing out. We just, like I said, we got to learn to agree that we're going to disagree, but the things that's provided, we need to support each other all across the board, because we can't let our enemies see us fighting against anything. So I don't care. We got to stop talking about prices and everything and get out. There's things that we are putting on all over, not just us, not saying me and Rick, but our people. And so we got to get involved, and we got places to go, places to spend our money, and we can get out of this if we speed up our actions.
Exactly. And let me say this real quick. One of the things in the film really that we talk about, the three principles are educating our own children, creating our own jobs, and connecting with our own tribes. So like you're saying, we don't all have to agree, but the thing that we're promoting in B1 is vibe with your tribe. Like, find your tribe and connect with your tribe and start building. You know what I'm saying? We're not going to all agree and say, hey, this is the way it's done. This is the only rule. No, it's time out for that. You know what I'm saying? The thing we can agree on is that when we connect with our tribe, we can connect with our tribe and grow and build. We can do that. We can do that.
That's right.
And then come, right, and share the resources and the information, under one umbrella. But that's what time it is. That's what we're doing.
Well, thank you, Rick, and thank you for gracing us with your presence.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's good enough for Tina. Straight no chaser, baby. Let's shut down the internet in this month.
Exactly. Y'all share, share, and be
boom, we started talking about I spit that fire. The internet was like, oh, that's too much.
Yep, I look, y'all. Look, I always I'm holding on to my little TikTok channel and stuff. I almost got to follow it, and they shut me down the other day. I was trying to share this broadcast on them, nah, you ain't share until next week.
Exactly.
But it takes y'all. So all of y'all that's been in the chat, all of your friends, share, and pass it on. Go follow Rick and go support some Black businesses. B1, support yourselves. Learn. We're gonna have to do a lot of changing. But I appreciate Rick for coming on the platform, and y'all have a blessed day. Shout out to Fly Nubian Queen, the melanated, the network for melanated people like you.
No doubt. Black first, baby.